All right, I think I'm live. We'll see how many viewers we get and stuff like that. Um, don't know how active it will be, especially right after the game. Let me make sure that my sound's coming through. Sorry, I'm just messing around. If anyone's watching, I don't see anyone yet, though, so it's fine. But, yeah. That was a horrendous watch. Maybe one of the tougher watches that I've seen in quite some time, to be honest with you. Um, I want to have positive things to say, and I do think there will be some things that I have to say that will be fairly positive. Um, I don't know if anyone's even on the live, if anyone will be joining on the live or anything like that. However, it will be predominantly negative today. To be honest, I just don't have a whole bunch of positive things to say about that game. Yeah, someone's laughing in the chat. Yeah, I don't blame any rival fans that were to laugh at us after that, because that was a pretty horrendous performance from Liverpool. Yeah, pretty awful. Pretty awful. Not much positive to say after that, to be quite clear. I have so many thoughts on the entirety of the game. Yeah, this guy's just putting just shit emojis on us right now. You know, I don't even know who this is. I've never seen him in the chat before. And we do kind of deserve it, because we've been talking about how we're the favorites to win the Premier League. If we're gonna perform like that, well, you know, we're not gonna win anything this season. That's just like point blank to the period. We won't win much. We'll probably, you know, maybe if we're lucky, if we want to play like this for the entirety of the season, maybe we'll have a real deep run in the Carabao Cup. But that was quite possibly one of the worst performances I've seen from Liverpool in quite some time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I can't seem to think there will be. I don't want to say okay. I will have some positives to say about the game, because there were some positive things that I saw, and there were some elements of the game that I'm not entirely upset with. Um, you know, there were some parts that I really, really did not I was not happy with, to say the least. Um, you know, there were some parts that in particular really bothered me more than anything. I'm sure you could probably see the topics up on the screen for this stream. I don't even know how long I'm going to stream this for, if I'm being honest, because if I'm being real with you guys, I just did a whole watch along, and for the most part, I was just upset with Liverpool's performance for the entirety of it. We looked kind of outside of like the first 3 minutes when Ekatike scored. Other than that, we didn't look good whatsoever. There, outside of that, and I know that Liverpool fans will try to spin zone this as if it's not that bad. That was awful. Nothing about that was positive. Nothing about the performance was something that I look at and I'm like, yeah, you know, we could take this away from it. No, it was all, for the most part, pretty bad. There were some horrendous performances from players that I'm going to talk about more in depth. Some good ones. I guess I'll start with some of the good sides of the game. Some of the good performances that I saw. To be honest with you, I thought Frimpong looked pretty good. I thought that you know, for the most part, Frimpong looked really, really solid defensively. He obviously looked really good going forward. The right side of the pitch in the first half, more from Frimpong than Salah, was kind of the area that we looked maybe the strongest. For the life of me, you know, I don't understand how Arne Slot kept Dominic Szoboszlai in the game for the entirety of the match. There were several instances just watching Dominic Szoboszlai piss the ball away. That there's no other way that I can actually comprehend in my head to where I can I can actually articulate to you guys how Sobasai played other than pissing the ball away. He just gave the ball away several times. One time in particular was just in the middle of the pitch at the halfway mark where he just lost possession. He just got stripped from some Crystal Palace players, and they were damn near in on goal. I don't for the life of me, like I'm not even trying to be like overreact or anything along those lines. I was live, and then I after the game, after I did my watch along, I left. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a moment here to really take a moment to just reflect. Don't hop on live right away. And honestly, I haven't calmed down whatsoever. I thought I was going to calm down, but no, there's nothing to take away from that. As an overall performance, that was good. Like I said, there were a couple individual performances that were fairly impressive. I already mentioned Jeremy Frimpong. He played quite well. Anyone that's going to try to tell me that was he meant to score his goal, I'm going to just look you dead in the face and tell you that you're a liar. By no means did he mean to score that goal. That was Dean Henderson, honestly and truthfully, misjudging the flight of the ball. At the end of the day, I'm not going to take away Frimpong's goal too much from the sense that, at the end of the day, I think he was trying to put the ball at the back post. The ball ultimately ended up in the back of the net because I think he was trying to serve across in real close to that back post and scuffed it a little bit and ended up in the back of the net. Cool, we're all fine with that. Ekitike looked good, especially in the first half. Second half, I don't know why we took him off. Maybe it's a fitness thing or something along those lines. Listen, if we're not going to buy Isak, which I don't even know if we are at this point, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Fabrizio Romano talk about whether or not we're going to. One day we are, one day we're not. Couldn't really care. We just sold Darwin Núñez, but when we want to take off our only striker that we have, we don't have a striker. We have Ekitike, and then we don't have another striker. We have 17 different wingers though, so that's good. In case one of our wingers gets injured, we have 19 different guys that we can slot in at the wing. Even though Salah never comes off, and Cody Gakpo is another one that I actually think was a pretty good performance today from Gakpo. I can't lie. I thought Kirkes didn't look good. Kirkes didn't look good whatsoever. They were targeting our left side of the pitch the entire game. The entire game we were getting targeted down our left side. Gakpo, it was almost in the first half as if we were pressing high with both Salah and Ekitike. Salah on the right, Ekitike off on the left, and there's a responsibility for Gakpo to get all the way back and defend because we're tucking Kirkes in. I have no idea why that was the game plan. After the first half, what I was saying on stream was I was like, you know what we need to do? We need to take Szoboszlai off. It's not his day today. And we need to take Kirkes off, put Robertson in. He's more defensively sound, and he has the experience. Kirkes just looks a bit out of it, and so does Szoboszlai. No, what do? We take off Curtis Jones, who was not having a bad game whatsoever. And then who else do we take off? We took off Ekitike. Curtis Jones and Ekitike. Why were those the changes? You'll have to tell me because I have absolutely no idea why those were the two changes that we needed to make. We took off the guy who scored a goal within 3 minutes, within 4 minutes maybe. Maybe I'm being a little too ahead of myself saying it was 3 minutes. Maybe it was 4 minutes before Ekitike scored. But we took him off, and then we took Curtis Jones off, who wasn't really having a bad day. It wasn't the best performance that I ever seen from Curtis Jones. I'm not going to act like it was. But I'll tell you what it was better than. It was certainly better than whatever on earth Dominic Szoboszlai was doing for the entire game because he was poor. He was poor the entire game. And I'm so sick and tired now at this point with this guy. This is a player. I'll give you the perfect comparison, right? Liverpool fans like to talk about how Darwin Núñez didn't live up to his potential, which I will be hands up. Darwin Núñez did not live up to his potential at Liverpool Football Club, but the hate towards him was way overblown. Yet we have a guy like Dominic Szoboszlai who we've spent a lot of money on, and he was good for maybe the first quarter of his first season. Since then, he has not lived up to his potential, and frankly, has not been good enough. I don't know why on earth. I cannot actually rationalize in my head why, after that first half, the decision was to take Curtis Jones off, but leave Dominic Szoboszlai on. And our fan base, there's so many people who have this weird infatuation with Dominic Szoboszlai, as if he's the best thing since sliced bread. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. I actually don't. He's a decent enough player, but he should not be starting for Liverpool Football Club. He makes far too many mistakes in the center of the pitch. If you're a center midfielder, you should not be getting stripped of the ball at the top level. That's just, you don't do that. That should never be happening. And I'll tell you what bothers me the most about it is all of our fans, right? If Curtis Jones put in that performance that Szoboszlai had, getting stripped in the center of midfield from two Crystal Palace players because he holds on to the ball for too long, they would be murdering Curtis Jones online, saying he's not good enough to play for this club. But Dominic Szoboszlai does it, and it's okay. After, I believe it was after we took Florian Wirtz off, which that's another one. We took off Curtis Jones earlier into the second half, and I'm like, that makes no sense. But then we take Wirtz off later, and we push Szoboszlai on. I watched Szoboszlai try to pull up from about 35, 40 yards, and it just the ball bounced right in front of Dean Henderson's hands, and he just scooped the ball up. Oh, thanks for taking a shot from 35 yards out, Dominic. Scoop it up, cool. It didn't make any sense to me. None of it made any sense to me. I like, for the life of me, I struggle to rationalize how Arne Slot said, you know what, let's take Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz on, and we're going to give Dominic Szoboszlai, an opportunity here. I don't know what that sofa score crap is, but I want to look that up, because I have a theory that's just like manufactured like witchcraft. Sofa score community shield. I want to see what like the ratings. Is that what it's called, the sofa score? Or what's it called? It's where they get all that XG and bullshit like that. I want to see what people rated Dominic Szoboszlai. Because honestly and truthfully, I don't like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Mo Salah was invisible the entire game. 95% of this game that we watched, Mo Salah was non-existent. I barely saw Mo Salah out on the pitch today. If other people have, you'll have to let me know, because frankly, I thought like he was just invisible. And that penalty, the penalty was horrendous, horrendous. Awful. They gave Dominic Szoboszlai on this a 7.6. Yeah, I'd love to know what game they were watching, because Szoboszlai looked like ass. And that's the thing, is they use this like stat bullshit nowadays to like rank how players have played. He was horrendous. He was horrendous the entire game. For the life of me, like I said, I don't understand how we subbed off Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz, but thought it was a brilliant decision for us to keep Dominic Szoboszlai on the pitch the entire time. And we have a real issue at striker, because if Ekitike is not fit to play a full 90, then we have nobody else that plays striker. We have no other striker currently. We don't. We have 7,000 wingers, but we don't have a striker. I don't understand how we're supposed to move forward, because we quite literally we subbed Ekitike off and we had nobody to replace him. Not a single person. Not a single person. Like that performance today, honestly and truthfully, guys, if we think that we are going to push to win a Premier League this season and we're going to perform like that, I mean, I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. The positives or the negatives far outweigh the positives from that game. Far outweigh them. There was little to no positives that I could take away from that. Little to none. We're meant to be a team that's going to be challenging for trophies this season, and we're putting in performances like that. It actually just bothers me at this point. I don't understand how on earth we're supposed to expect ourselves to compete for trophies when we're putting in performances like that. I don't get it. For the life of me, I don't get it. I don't know if I ever will get it. It just... Oh, the Van Dijk penalty, too. Awful. Awful. We were lucky we didn't give away a penalty. Alexis McAllister... Alexis McAllister hit the ball with his hand inside the 18. Arthur Bushby said, all those players you brought looked terrible. I mean, Kirkes looked awful. He did not look good. Frimpong looked all right. Frimpong looked pretty good for me, if I'm being honest. And Florian Wirtz was okay. Ekitike scored. I can't honestly critique him too much, Arthur. I'll be honest. Like I think the likes of I've been like ranting about him. I think Dominic Soboslai looked awful today. Getting stripped of the ball in the center of the midfield, pissing the ball away. I thought he looked awful. I thought as a unit we looked terrible. It was a bad game from Van Dijk. It was just all in all. I didn't think anything looked good. I didn't think the only positives I genuinely could take away. All right, going through the lineup. Alisson played all right. Alisson, in my opinion, nothing bad to say about Alisson. Kirkes, at halftime, I was saying, please put Andy Robertson on. At halftime, I was actually saying, can we please get Andy Robertson on? Because I was watching us they were going at that left side the entire game. The entire game. Cody Gakpo was playing left back at certain points, and we were having Kirkes tuck in. Why are we having Cody Gakpo come all the way back and then expect him to have responsibilities going forward? It made absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense as to why we put that responsibility on Cody Gakpo at all. It makes virtually absolutely no sense to me, right? Okay? And then, also, too, I don't understand what Van Dijk was doing with that penalty. Putting it, you put your foot in an area like that if you actually think you're going to win the ball. By no means should he have assumed that he was going to win the ball when he gave away that penalty. I'll be honest, I love Virgil, probably my favorite Liverpool player, but that was a poor penalty to concede. At that point, when we had already gone 1-0 up so early in the game, that looked awful. It was not a good game from Virgil van Dijk today. Konate looked pretty good. I really don't have that many... I don't have a whole lot of positives to say about Konate, but I don't have anything negative. Right back, I thought Frimpong looked good. I actually think out of all of our signings, I think Frimpong looked the best. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, but anyone that wants to tell me that he meant to score that goal is lying to me. He meant to put that ball in at the back post, and he got lucky because Dean Henderson sucks, and it went in the back of the net. So Frimpong looked all right, and I can't really hold too much against him because at the end of the day, he scored a goal. Whether he meant to or not, he still put the ball in the back of the net. Fine. So that's our back four. Kirkes, if this is how Kirkes is going to play all the time, and we have to worry about Kirkes at left back defensively, because Crystal Palace in that first half especially were just going at us down our left side, and Cody Gakpo was playing left back. So Kirkes for me at the back four was the biggest issue. The center of midfield, I thought Curtis Jones didn't have a great game. I don't think he had a terrible game either. It was a little weird for him because we obviously don't have Ryan Gravenberch fit, so we had to almost have him and Soboslai rotate sitting in deep for us. But at the end of the day, I think that wasn't the worst thing I don't think the worst performance I've ever seen from Curtis Jones. Soboslai, I've ranted and raved about it so far this stream. Awful. Awful. Honestly and truthfully, awful. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing our fans online rant and rave about this guy. And it's not even just the fans, it's like the PR around Dominic Soboslai. I saw a video where Steven Gerrard was getting interviewed and he was talking about the current Liverpool team. And the interviewer asked him, who in the current Liverpool team reminds you the most of yourself? His response was Dominic Soboslai. If Soboslai is like Gerrard, then I must be like Alonso, because I don't understand how on earth anyone can articulate to me that that's the case. Soboslai looked poor. I don't want to see him start anymore for Liverpool. Honestly and truthfully, I want to see our center midfield be Gravenberch holding. I want to then see McAllister playing. And then as our attacking midfielder, I want to see Florian Wirtz. If we have to take someone come off the bench, I want to see it be Curtis Jones. Kono Yunes said Gakpo hogs the ball. I actually thought Gakpo played all right, but I'm sick and tired, too, of seeing these Liverpool players that get the ball in and around the 18, and we decide to play tiki-taka with the ball. Let's play these quick little passes, and then we'll set up the perfect shot, and No, get the ball at your feet, and then put a shot in on. Let's not try to play like prime Barca, where we're going to play tiki-taka around their 18, and then we're going to get a shot in. Get the ball on your foot and have a shot in on goal. For God's sakes, we're trying to set up the perfect shot all the time. It drives me bananas. There's no reason for us to be trying to do that. Rasta Stock said, do you know the superstition of who wins the Charity Shield? I don't. I'm assuming it's that they don't play well. But I remember the year... I don't know the superstition around the Community Shield. I don't. You'll have to let me know in the chat. Conan Yoon says... Arthur Busby, what are you on? Verts looked good, and Ekatike was our player of the match. Also, Frimpong looked good. Kirkes just looked terrible, and a lot of our players that have been at the club for quite some time, like Soboslai, looked horrendous. Conan Yoon said, nah, Gakpo holds the ball way too much. He could have passed in so many occasions. I mean, Gakpo also had to play left back throughout most of the game as well. Honestly, he did. He had to play left back. Because he had to track back for Kirkes a lot. I actually don't think Gakpo played terribly. I'll be honest with you. I really don't feel that way. I'm just being honest with you, Kono Units. I don't think Gakpo played terribly. I don't think Mo Salah was invisible this game. Can you tell me like outside of when there was a cross to Salah, and he took it on his left foot and put it right at Dean Henderson. Is there anything else Salah did that game? In the second half, at least. In the last 15 years, only one team that won the Community Shield has gone on to win the Prem. Not Gakpo was awful. No, he wasn't. And yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, I when it comes down to shit like that, I have to be honest. I don't really believe it as much. I don't even care. What it is I don't even care that we lost the Community Shield. I'll be real with you. Losing the Community Shield, I could care less. It's not a trophy unless you're Mikel Arteta, because Arteta loves winning the Community Shield. It's essentially like his Champions League. But I could care less about winning. It honestly and truthfully comes down to I don't like the fact that we played that poorly. Like if it was like a real there were a lot of positives that, and I guess alternatively, if Liverpool were to hypothetically have played good, you would expect them to win against Crystal Palace. Conan Yoon said, I care about the awful performance more. Yeah, I don't really care. It's not a real trophy, if we're all being honest. It's a Mickey Mouse trophy, but I want us to. We need to play better. That's the big thing, Kono. I agree with you. Is that it's the performance more than the winning. To be honest with you, we looked horrendous. There was little to no positives to take away from that. And Palace are good, but they're a mid-table team. And The thing is, we've spent this money, we've made all these transfers, yet the big thing is we still need to make more transfers. We need another striker, whether it's Isak or not. We need another striker, okay, and we need to bring in another center back, and it's not down to the fact that we can't have Kanate and Van Dijk start. It's down to the fact that we have no depth at center back. You know, I'm very, very nervous of the signing of Kirkes. I don't think he played that great, if I'm being honest with you. I think he played pretty poor. Frimpong looked good, and Verts looked good as well. I actually don't think it was the new players that we brought in that were the concern for me. To be honest with you, it was some of the players that have been at the club, like Soboslai. I can't wait to see everyone online talking about how great Soboslai's played today and how good his hair looked. He's not been doing well. It's getting to the point. It's like I said, Liverpool fans loved to talk about how terrible Darwin Núñez was, but we won't highlight the fact that Soboslai. Oh, but he's an engine though. He's an engine. He's got so many legs. I could care less. I could care less how much of an engine. He is in the center of midfield. I really want him to actually just not lose possession of the ball in the middle of the park. Kono Yunes said the communication problem was evident as well. Yeah, I don't think it looked like a cohesive unit that, you could tell, obviously, we got a lot of new players in. I don't know why we took Ekitike off. For the life of me, I don't know why we took Ekitike off when we don't have another striker. Maybe it's a fitness thing. It very well could have been a fitness issue with Ekitike. But if it wasn't, I would have liked to have seen him play more. I'll be real. I'm not that upset. Those missed passes from Soboslai in the edge of the box, holy. The big one for me, bro, was in the second half when he just got picked off in the middle of the park. They just ran up and just took the ball from him because he held on to it too long, and they were in on the counter. For the life of me, I think I like Arne Slot a lot, but I think he needs to articulate to the fans why Dominic Soboslai played a full 90 today. Because I don't understand how on earth anyone in their right mind could tell me he deserved to play 90 minutes. And when we took off Ekitike and Jones, I was like, I don't understand why we're taking off Jones and keeping in Dominic Soboslai, but whatever, that's fine. Then later on, when it got to the point that we were taking off Verts, but Soboslai was remaining on the pitch, I was livid. I did not understand that whatsoever. And I'm sorry. I'm not saying that we need to be told why Arne makes every single move that he makes with the squad. I think we should trust him. But for the life of me, we need to have a real evaluation of how Dominic Soboslai fits into this team because he was awful today. Salah was terrible too. Salah was horrendous. Salah was invisible. And he does this a lot where he'll go invisible in a game, but then he'll pick off a goal. He had a golden opportunity in the second half, put the ball right at Dean Henderson, and then later when we went into penalties, not hitting the target is unacceptable if you're Mo Salah. I'm sorry. If you're taking a penalty, I've seen you take dozens, if not hundreds of penalties in your career. Why are you not hitting the target? Subbing off Ekitike and Verts was so odd. I expected Soboslai and Jones to be subbed. Yeah. I did too. Trust me. But I didn't understand why Jones was the first sub. At first, I was like, when I saw we were bringing on Endo and McAllister, I'm like, right, he's taking off Jones and Soboslai. No, we're going to take off Jones and Ekitike. Why? Why are we taking off Hugo Ekitike? He scored a goal inside 4 minutes. Ekitike looked really good. Ekitike was a bright spot for me, to be honest with you. He looked confident. He looked hungry. Hugo Ekitike looked really, really good for me. I'll be honest. He probably, honestly, should have had more than just one goal. I was a little upset that he didn't, but on the flip side of things, I do think that he played quite well. I do think he played quite well. It's really, really... It was a letdown today. It was a letdown today. And I'm interested to see how our overall fan base online and stuff like that will react, because I feel like they'll make scapegoats out of players that aren't actually the issue without highlighting the actual issues that we have in our team. But, you never know. Who knows? Maybe we'll have some accountability for some of our... yeah. Maybe. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Kono, if there's anything else you want to talk about, please let me know. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a lighter stream for me because I did the whole watch along, which made me just want to shoot someone. The whole thing was just honestly terrible. It was embarrassing. It's what it actually was. It was embarrassing today. We didn't look good. Kono said Rio could have been helpful, to be honest. Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to bring him on. I would have liked to have seen him, but like, I don't know. I thought we should have made changes in the midfield, but we didn't. We didn't make the change. We did make changes in the midfield. We didn't make the change that we should have. We made a change to Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz. I don't know why on earth we did that. No clue why we did that. Not a damn clue. I'm honestly just burnt out from this shit. Burnt out from it. Kona Yude says a hard watch, to be honest. LMAO, yeah, it was terrible. It's terrible, and we have to. The problem is too is we have to go. We're gonna have to see how they play against Bournemouth, because it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good whatsoever. Burnt out. It's just terrible. Terrible. There's nothing positive to say, really. Just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But, alright, Kono. Thank you for watching along, man. I really, really appreciate it. I don't have much left. I didn't get any voicemails on this one, did I? No. I'm burnt out. Probably stream sometime this week. Gakpo had 0 chances and created 0.09 expected goals. Yeah, but the thing is like, he had such a defensive responsibility, dude. He had to track back, because Kirkes wasn't playing well the entire time. That's what it was, Kono. It's for me it was such a responsibility for Gakpo to track back, and then when we finally made the change at left back, we brought on Andy Robertson in like the 84th minute. I'm like, why? If we're gonna make a change at left back, why are we making it in the 84th when we're chasing the game? Why didn't we make a change at left back in the 70th minute where we could have had a little bit more defensive responsibility from Robbo. Instead, we made the change later on. Ground duels one of 5 though. Yeah, I mean, he's not a defender. I don't expect him to win, but he had to get back. They were targeting us on their right-hand side, on our left-hand side the entire time, especially in the first half. Our high press was only Salah and Ekitike, while we had Gakpo track back the entire time. So it was tough. It was a tough watch, and I'm not gonna say listen, Kono, I'm not gonna say that I think Gakpo is the end all be all for Liverpool Football Club. You'll never hear me say that. He's definitely questionable. I just think that if I'm looking at how the team played in totality, I don't think that he's the massive concern. We know what we're gonna get out of Cody Gakpo, and I don't necessarily believe that what we know we're going to get out of Cody Gakpo, it should be Gakpo starting. I think what we know we're going to get out of Cody Gakpo is he's decent. He's decent. It's fucking. We're at the point where I'm rationalizing for decent. I'm rationalizing for decent. You're probably right. You're probably right. You probably talked me into it. Honestly, you probably talked me into it. That we're just you're shit. We're garbage. We're past it. I'm over it. It's a complete head loss for me at this point. I'm over it entirely. We're just not good enough at this point. Nothing about that was good enough. We need Gravenberch back. Because the thing is, in the midfield, our best midfield would be Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz. And then it takes away the issue with Jones and Szoboszlai not playing good enough. Both of our wingers were awful for sure. Yeah. Salah had zero impact in that game. Frimpong was a bigger threat down the right hand side than Salah was the entire game. They it was a tough watch. Tough watch. Kirkaz is a real concern for me. Don't worry about it, though. City looked awful against us in the Community Shield and went on to compete in UCL and won the Prem. Yeah. Remember that game when we all thought that Darwin Núñez was going to be the next best thing and that Erling Haaland was going to flop? They won the treble after that, actually, didn't they? That was the season they won the treble. Right? Or am I tripping? I think that was the season that City won the treble. I think the season they lost to us in the Community Shield was the year they won the treble. Had to have been. Because that would have been, if we're talking about the same Community Shield, that would have been the year we signed Darwin and they signed Haaland. And Haaland missed that sitter, put it over the bar from 5 feet out. 5 to 8 feet out. He put the ball over. And Darwin won a penalty and scored that game. We were all we got the good striker, you didn't. And then Haaland went on to break the goal scoring record and they won a treble. So you know what, Kono? You might be on to something. You might actually be on to something. Maybe that's maybe we're going to win a treble this season because we lost the Community Shield. That's a positive outlook on it, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe we're going to win a treble because we played awful in the Community Shield. Because that's what happened with City. We need to beat the shit out of Bournemouth. I need to see us just absolutely mollywop Bournemouth on Friday. It can't even be competitive. Nah, they won it the year after 2023. Oh, okay. That wasn't the same. That would have been 2022? You sure about that? You're positive about that, Kono? Because that would have been... Didn't Holland break... No, Holland broke the goal scoring record his first year at City. Did he not win the treble the year he broke the goal scoring record? I need a 5-0 against Bournemouth as well. Yes, LMAO. Double check. I'll double check it too. Hold on. Liverpool versus City Community Shield. And Eniola said fool. Eat shit. How about that? Yeah, so Liverpool defeated Man City in the 3-1 in the 100th FA Community Shield on July 30th, 2022. When did City win the treble? June 10th, 2023. Yeah, it was that season. No, I just looked it up. July 2022 was when we beat them 3-1 in the Community Shield, and then they won the treble in the Champions League June 10th, 2023. I love this guy called me a fool. What was foolish about anything that I've said so far? Probably a lot. Yeah, we signed Nunez in 2022. Yeah. Figgy. Ah ha 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 ha. Yeah. Oh, Eniola said, sorry, I was not talking to you. Now I feel bad. My bad. I apologize, Eniola. I was out of line then. I shouldn't have said that. I'm assuming Figgy is laughing at me because we lost the Community Shield. If you can clarify what you're laughing at, then I'll respond because I don't want to be premature like I just was with Eniola. I actually feel bad. That was uncalled for. Grubb said, disappointing result, but I'm glad it was today and not against Bournemouth. We move. I completely agree with you. I was just talking about that we need to come out strong against Bournemouth. If we're being honest, in the grand scheme of things, that's a more important game than the Community Shield is for us. So I do agree with you, Grubb. That is something that we need to look forward to and move on from. It just sucks. What sucks about it, to be honest with you, dude, is the fact that we had particular players that that were way off of the mark today. Way off of the mark. Some of them were, whether it be Salah, who was invisible. Van Dijk didn't play his best either. Then you have Kirkes, who in my opinion didn't play great. And the big one for me is Dominic Szoboszlai, where I'm just still sitting around waiting for him to come good. Eniola said, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, man. I definitely was extremely premature there with I thought you were calling me a fool. The Sober and Curtis double pivot was horrible. It was... I thought so, Grubb. I'd like to know what you think about this. I was talking about it a little bit earlier with Kono Yunes. I think that we should have yanked Sobo before we yanked Jones. I thought Dominic Szoboszlai was terrible today. Where Curtis Jones wasn't great, in my opinion, but at least with Curtis Jones, I felt he wasn't just giving the ball away. He wasn't creating any sort of impact, but at the very least, I felt as though with Jones, he didn't have a negative impact on the game. He didn't really have a positive impact. He was just sitting in front. Yeah, you said 100%. I felt as though Curtis was just sitting in front of the back four and playing the simple passes, which for me, I was like, all right, whatever. Curtis Jones isn't a holding midfielder naturally. He plays as a number 8, sometimes as a number 10. But it was, and Kono Yoon said, I wanted a Maka and Jones. We seen it last season, and it was good. I was convinced when I saw Maka and Endo coming on that they were just going to yank the two of them, which I would have been okay with. Bringing in Endo, really, he's a holding midfielder by trade, essentially, and then McAllister's, one of our best midfielders. I was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm cool with this. But then we, for whatever reason, decided we're going to yank Curtis Jones, and we're going to give a full 90 to Szoboszlai, which when we yanked Jones and we kept Soba, I was like, this is stupid. But then when we yanked Florian Wirtz and we're keeping Dominic Soboslai out there, I'm like, what on earth are we doing? Why can someone articulate to me in the English language how this makes any sort of sense? Because for me, it just made no sense. I mean, it was egregious. It was outrageous. It was blasphemy, if we're being honest. And then Kirkez, like, I thought Kirkez wasn't playing well. Thank you to whoever subscribed. I just saw I earned another subscriber from this stream. So shout out to you. And if anyone else is in the stream right now, you're not subscribed, please do so. Also, guys, please like the video as well. It helps the engagement, helps me get the video out a little bit more. Grub said, I feel like we may have left Sobo on for pens because his record is really good. He took a really good penalty, if we're going to be honest. He did take a really, really good penalty. But we're playing for pens at that point. Like, but by the time we yanked Wirtz, I was like, you know, what at that point, I'm like, are we just settling for penalties? Kona Yoon said, the problem, Wirtz was so good as well. I was baffled when he was subbed. Yeah, I was too. At Grub, can you choose anyone to shoot the pens, though, even if they were subbed? Yeah, if they're subbed, you can't, they can't take a penalty. Oh, really? Eniola said that was me. I appreciate it, Eniola. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Like I said, if anyone else hasn't yet, make sure you subscribe. Also, like the video as well, guys. I would really, really appreciate it if you liked it. Yeah, I, for the life of me, I mean, maybe it was a penalty thing, but at that point, like, is it in the best interest of Liverpool Football Club to try to play for penalties against Crystal Palace? Would we have, because here's the thing, guys, right? I was just talking about it before. Like, I felt as though, like, I'm not as much upset with the result as I am with the performance. Granted, yes, when I watched the penalties, was I screaming at the stream? Absolutely, but that's just more of a reaction. But the thing that really frustrates me is I would have rathered us really go for it in added time, and if we really go for it in regulation, and then if we lost going for the game, I would have been like, all right, whatever. Versus hypothetically, if we won in penalties. K24 said Jones played well. I actually agree. I think Jones did play well, and I was talking about it just a second ago to K24 that for whatever reason I don't understand why we subbed off Curtis Jones and kept Dominic Soboslai on for a full 90. Makes absolutely no sense to me why Curtis Jones, for whatever reason, earned a full 90 minutes, but we had to sub off Curtis Jones and Wirtz. It made no sense to me. Soboslai was awful today. Soboslai hasn't worked out so far with Liverpool, and it's about time that our fan base really starts to recognize the fact that the guy is not what we paid for. Z said, if we subbed Soboslai and Gakpo before they scored draw, we didn't reach penalty. We wouldn't have reached a penalty shootout. I get a you know what you're saying a little bit there, Z. I think Gakpo, I mean, maybe I'm tripping, but Kono was talking about a little bit earlier in the stream that he thought Gakpo didn't play that well. I didn't think he played terribly, to be honest with you. I thought Gakpo was all right. I thought he had way too much of a defensive responsibility due to Kirkez not having like that much defensive soundness today for whatever reason. You know, it's crazy to expect that potentially our left back would be good at defending. I literally at halftime I was like, because in the first half especially, Crystal Palace were just targeting our left side, and Gakpo had to track back so much. I was like, can we please get Andy Robertson on at halftime? I was like, let's get Andy Robertson and Alexis McAllister on, or if we were to brought on Harvey Elliott or something like that, I would have been okay with it as well. You know, I did not understand why in the 84th minute we thought it was a bright idea for us to bring on Andy Robertson at that point in the game. Like, what difference was Robbo going to make in the 84th minute that he couldn't have made? You know, Eniola saying that they were cheating. I don't know, like, if they were cheating in any regard. I didn't see anything for me that would indicate they were cheating, to be honest. I got to be honest with you. Other than the fact that potentially, you're saying because Dean Henderson was wearing a hat, or rather, I think that just made him look like an idiot versus cheating. Actually, I think he's allowed to wear a hat. Um, but yeah, no, I don't think that they cheated at all. If Virgil took a pen, um, maybe we might have won. I thought he was going to take a penalty. So our penalty takers were Salah first, no surprise there. McAllister second, no surprise there. Our two penalty takers missed. Like in regular play, like in regulation, if we got a penalty, the two players that take it are Salah and McAllister, and they missed. So let's just point that out that our two best penalty takers missed, and Salah didn't even put it on target, for God's sakes. Then our third was Gakpo. He took a good pen. Fourth was Harvey. Fifth was Soboslai. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I actually felt like Kirk has played well. We missed Luis Diaz's work rate today, which left our left side a bit exposed to their overloads. Yeah, but I don't expect our left winger to have to get back as far as Gakpo was every single time. I actually don't think Kirk has played. I have to disagree, Grubb. I actually don't think Kirk has played that great. That Salah new pen technique is horrendous. What was up with Salah and Alexis McAllister just the referee seemed to have blown his whistle, and then they stood there for 5 minutes before they took their penalty. Like, I hate that. I hate the... Listen, I am someone who loves a good old-fashioned 4-4-2. Many people might think that that's egregious, but in my personal opinion, a 4-4-2 is fantastic. It's probably not the best formation for a team to play, in today's day and age, but a 4-4-2 really gets me going. So I like the old style of football. I don't really like this new penalty shit to where let's do a little run up, do some just get up and take the penalty. For God's sake. Sorry, I missed a couple chats here. Eniola said, even body sub. Not sure what that is. The new solid pen technique is horrendous. Yeah, I just covered that. Z said, we need Rio in such this kind of situation. We need to make Furious the defender. Our attacking was dead the whole second half. Salah is walking all the time, for God's sake. Yeah, he was not. Salah was invisible. To be fair, the save from Henderson on Macca's pen was insane. Yeah, to be fair, McAllister's penalty was good. It was just a really, really good save from Dean Henderson. There's not much that you got, if you're gonna put it in the bottom corner at this level, you're going to run the risk of a potential for the keeper making a save. Eniola said, me too, that was pressure. Kono Yoon said 4-4-2 is losing you the midfield battle every day. Listen, I'm not saying that a 4-4-2 is the best thing that football teams can play nowadays. What I'm saying is that a 4-4-2 gets me going, and I miss the days when teams would just play a 4-4-2. That was just fantastic. That was peak football, 4-4-2. And, that the energy that came with a 4-4-2, there was none of this fancy run-ups when you're taking your penalties. None of this nonsense. No wing backs. Give me a break. Listen, we don't. I recognize that a 4-4-2 is not the most advantageous thing. Z said, I believe Salah intentionally kicked it away this time. Because since the match time he wasn't good in mood, maybe not giving him the ball or good pressure. Z, if I can ask you to just, are you hinting that you believe Mohamed Salah intentionally put his penalty over the crossbar? Is that what we're getting at here? We think Salah was. Are you accusing Mohamed Salah of match fixing? Is that where we're at with this? Will we just accuse Mohamed Salah of match fixing? Is that he intentionally missed a penalty? Maybe not even match fixing. He intentionally missed the penalty because he wasn't getting the ball. Is that? Am I missing something? Kono Yoon says, "We'll blame Pep LMAO." Yeah, I'll blame Pep for ruining 4-4-2s until the sun comes down. You don't have to. Ruined it. Grubb said Z he would never do that. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something here from what Z is saying. Are we actually hinting at the fact that Mohamed Salah is intentionally missing penalties now? Is that what we're getting at? Because I don't see that being a possibility, really. LMFAO, he missed the pen before this one as well, and it was with the same technique. Yeah, I don't think Mo Salah. I don't think Mo Salah is out here just intentionally missing penalties. Yeah, Mo Salah doesn't intentionally miss penalties. I don't. The same conscious that he did between Klopp and his disagreement during the match. What are you talking about? The what? So the time Salah and Klopp fought like 2 seasons ago. That was comedy. Yeah, I don't know. Z, you'll have to let us know maybe what you're talking about, because I'll be honest, brother. You're losing me. You're losing me. Guys, if I could ask you, please like the video as well, just so it gets pushed a little bit more. I'd really, really appreciate that. Kono said, Z, mate, what are you on? Z is bugging. Yeah, Z's on that good right now. I don't know what is going on. We're at the point where we're accusing Mohamed Salah of missing penalties on purpose. I don't see how that's a reasonable. Z, did you eat anything weird today? Man, maybe. Z, you have to let us know what you're talking about, brother, because I'm unbelievably confused if you're accusing Salah of match fixing, if you're accusing him. Last year, Klopp and Mo argued during match. Don't you remember? That wasn't last year. That was the year before. But what I understand, we're guys, we'll get to the bottom of this, right? I remember when Klopp and Salah argued on the side of the pitch. I 100% remember that. What does that have to do with Mohamed Salah missing the penalty today? I think he meant Mo lost his head, bottled it. Debajit Saha. Thanks. Bottled. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, we bottled it against Crystal Palace. I know. You don't have to remind me. I'm very familiar with the fact that Liverpool were not very good today. That was very apparent watching the game, that we were pretty ass. So, but I do appreciate you letting us know that he bottled it. Saying bottled on a Community Shield is mental. Yeah, I'd have to concur with Kono Yunes here. We bottled the Community Shield. Are you an Arsenal fan? Because if you're an Arsenal fan, I know your manager, like the Community Shield, sort of like your Champions League final, if you will. You know, he holds that to a high regard, loves winning the Community Shield. We all know how much Mikel Arteta loves winning the Champions League, or winning the Community Shield. It's his Champions League. So yeah, so you have to let me know, Debajit Saha, what team you support and stuff like that. Arteta is Captain Community Shield. Oh yeah, he loves it. He loves it. He's probably really happy that we lost today. He's probably like, yes, one less trophy for Liverpool. It's funny because I guarantee you that Crystal Palace care less about the Community Shield win than Arsenal do and Mikel Arteta do. Konate was much better than Virg today. Yeah, Virgil was off it. That penalty was bad. You support Crystal Palace? Oh, look at that. Good for you. Yeah. So you I know you support Crystal Palace. How's it gonna feel when we take your center back right from you, and when Eze goes to Arsenal? How about that? Yeah. How's it gonna feel when the captain of your club decides to come to our team? Yeah, yeah, big Palace fan over here. Can't wait to take your center back from you. He might not even start. He probably won't start either when he comes to our club. How's that gonna feel? I'm on your head now. What else you got to say? What else you got to say? Dibajit. Legit. What else? What else? What else? Big Palace fan. I want to know. What else you got to say? I doubt he heard about Crystal Palace before today, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We bottled it. Even if he is a huge Palace fan, Kono, I'm sure that this is like I said, it's similar to like Arsenal. They live for this. This is huge for them. They've only won like one trophy in the past like 100 years, so this is a big moment for him. Let Debajit, Saha, really live that up. But when we take your center back from you, just come back and join the live, yeah? Join the live then. Join the live when Mark Gahey decides to leave your dead club to come to our club. Join the live. I want you to. I want you to. Can't wait. Z said, 70 years old, lazy-ass grandpa duo, Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. Their era is done. No matter how many goals you scored from front line, they're going to give it away right away. This is the same. This is the same. Yeah, no. You know what, Z, I'll spin back on you since I just had to give Debajit the work a little bit too. You're the same idiot that was just saying that Mo Salah was match fixing. You expect me to take what you have to say into consideration when your dumbass was just articulating that Mohamed Salah was match fixing, and this had something to do with the fact that Mo Salah got into an argument with Jurgen Klopp 2 years ago. This is the same mental capacity of someone who was just articulating to me that Mo Salah was match fixing, and the reason he was match fixing was because he argued with his former manager 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm going to take your consideration into you say 70-year-old lazy ass grandpa duo, Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. Virgil's about 34. I think Kanate's like 26. So I don't even know what you're talking about there. That really has nothing to do with anything we were speaking about. So please articulate again what you're talking about. Are you Z? Are you saying that you think Kanate and Virgil van Dijk are also Kanate and Virgil van Dijk were also match fixing along with Mohamed Salah? Was our entire team match fixing? Josh said Sobo was class. No, he wasn't. No, see, this is the issue that I have. We just push this weird narrative that he was good today. He gave the ball away in the middle of the park. I watched him get stripped in the center of midfield, and then Crystal Palace counterattack. He was not class today. By no means was he class today. By no means was Sobo class today. Sobo's never been class, but I can't wait. Oh, he's the engine. He's the engine of our center midfield. He's the engine. No, he's not. He was shit today. He was shit. It was awful. He hasn't he was really good for a quarter of his first season. That was electric when he was just burying the ball from 25 yards out. That was a lot of fun to watch Dominic Szoboszlai then. Since then, it's been shit. It's been garbage. Nothing about watching Dominic Szoboszlai has been fun since then. Z, spin back. I want to hear what you're saying about Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. Josh said, laughing my ass off. Yeah, no, he hasn't been. Grubb said, realistically, he's a good sub against tired legs. I don't see him in our 11 this season. That's probably... Well, you should probably, honestly, Josh, listen to what Grubb is saying. I'm probably taking it too far just because I was sick of his performance today. He shouldn't be starting. I'm okay with Szoboszlai coming off the bench. I have no issue with that. He's not as bad as I'm probably making him out to be. But not for nothing, he was not good today. And I get sick and tired of when we tried to act as though he was good. It wasn't. Leonard K said, it's okay, guys. Win or lose, that's just part of the game. Instead of blaming, why not improving, right? All right. Yeah, that's I do agree with the sentiment of that, but that sounds like the most like unicorn, like let's live in a world of rainbows and unicorns as well, Leonard. Like I know what you mean. We need to not be so down on the players as I probably am for sure, but like that's just part of like the being a football fan is you get emotional about these sorts of things. Kono Yoon said, it's not that he got stripped off the ball too much, it's that the 2 times he got dispossessed, it was on the edge of our box. Yeah, the one was in midfield. It's alright if he gets stripped of the ball in our attacking third. I have no issue with that. It's the fact that he was pissing the ball away several times passing, and he got stripped several times in dangerous positions. TK ASMR said, Caw! Yeah, I didn't like that. Josh said, Sobo is elite, can cover all midfield roles, and will be essential Gravenberch cover this season. So he's going to be our cover for our holding midfielder. He's not holding midfielder, so I would have to do. Don't you see that lazy ass duo? They couldn't carry their own legs right in front of 7 million fans. Be realistic. I don't know, man. I think Z is on some sort of heavy narcotic because he was just accusing Mo Salah of match fixing, and now you're accusing Virgil and Kanate of being old. How old is Kanate? Ibrahima Kanate is 26 years old. So, I don't know where you get the fact that he's old from. If he's old, I'm like a fossil at that point. I don't know where you get that from. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. Kanate is 26, I think. Yeah, he is. He's 26 years old. I think Van Dijk is old. You can call Van Dijk old. I'm not going to. Yeah, Grubb said, I don't blame our center backs for today because our midfield just exposed our back line the whole game. Yeah, Van Dijk giving away that penalty was bad. That was not a good chance to give up. The thing is with Van Dijk is it's like when you're on the edge of your own box like that, I feel it's not good to just dive in a chance in an opportunity that you're it's a tackle that you're not going to win the ball, and that's what that was. Like I don't think he had a reasonable expectation to actually win that ball from Palace, and that's what was kind of frustrating for me. Is it's like, dude, you're not going to win that, so why are you diving in? I don't get it, Z said Kanate and Van Dijk both 70 at least. And then Kono said Z has lost the plot. I don't know if he's trolling. I think Slot got it wrong today by leaving on Sobo and subbing Jones. Gakpo today looked like second option to Rio. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, especially on that first part. I was talking about it a little bit earlier, Dean Jansen, that like when he subbed off Jones first, I was like, that's pretty crazy. But then when he subbed off Verts and Szoboszlai it remained on, I was just like, I think I've lost touch with reality at this point. I'm not entirely sure what the appropriate response to this is. Leonard said, it really hurt me, alright? I was pissed the F off, but I'm trying to stay positive. just to calm myself. Hope we sort this problem soon. Sub off Hugo, bring impact. Yeah, I think I agree. I get that, Leonard. I hear what you're saying. It's a little frustrating, but hopefully, it is what it is. Grub said, on a positive note, Hugo looked like a proper player today. Yeah, I think if the problem with Ekitike though is if we're not able to play Ekitike for a full 90, we need another striker. You know, and guys, going back to the Gakpo thing that you guys were talking about, I think that's where the Isak thing really comes into play, is that I really wonder if we're really just going to hold out and hope for Isak, bring in Isak, and then we're going to play Ekitike off the left. I think that there's a chance for that, but if we're not going to do that, then we really need to make sure we bring in another striker, because we don't have depth at striker. We just sold Darwin, and when we subbed off Hugo, we didn't have another striker, and that's just going to hurt us in the long term. Just not having a striker is just not an adequate way for us to move forward, unfortunately. Kono said, yeah, Ekitike was my player of the match. For Liverpool, yeah, I would say him. Verts played well. Frimpong played well. But yeah, I would agree. Ekitike probably. Dean Jansen said, we lost the midfield when Jones went off. Maka was clearly unfit for the game. For me, even Trey could have come on instead of Maka. Yeah, Maka didn't look himself. So that to me, right, Dean, is when we brought on McAllister, for me, in my head, I'm like, this change makes sense to me. Even though it didn't work out, it's something that I look at and I'm like, bringing on McAllister at this time is a good choice for Liverpool Football Club. But I didn't understand leaving Szoboszlai. Like, that was a move that, like, just in my head, it just didn't make any sense to me. McAllister, while he definitely didn't play like himself, it's like we know what McAllister is, and, that could have been a really good move. He just didn't play himself, and I definitely think he seemed like he wasn't fit for sure. Leonard said, what happened to Gravenberch? He's hurt right now, so he couldn't play. Z said, I felt pain in... All right, guys. We got another... Ladies and gentlemen, we have another Z chat. Z said, I felt pain in my ass, and still hurts, men. I've been yelling all the time to sub off Slobo and slot adopted son Gakpo before Palace scored 2-2 draw. Slot stubbornness. So... the first part of that chat, I felt pain in my ass and still hurts, man. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? I need further elaboration on that. Kono Yoon said, I thought subbing off Sobo and keeping Jones would have been a good shot. Hell, even Neoni could do. I definitely was like, I wouldn't mind seeing Trey play. Neoni could have done something, to be honest. Yeah, I definitely concur there. Grubb said, nah, Gravenberch's wife gave birth. That's why he was absent. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I just saw him on the touchline, and he was not in uniform, so I thought maybe he had a knock, but that makes sense. He wasn't going to play. Z-Man, I feel a pain in my ass every time I read your comments. Big Z, baby. Z loves old jokes and claiming that Mohamed Salah is match-fixing games. That's what Z does, baby. Dean Jansen said, today we saw a replacement. Second option for Gravenberch is a must, I think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say so. The midfield in general just wasn't it today. There was not a lot of bright spots in the midfield, if I'm being honest. If you guys haven't, please make sure to subscribe, like the video as well. I know a lot of you have, so I feel bad if I'm reiterating that a bunch. Also, too, if you guys haven't yet, see the speak pipe down below in the description. It's a voicemail service that allows you to call into the show while I'm doing this live, and I will play your message live. So if there's anything you want to say, honestly and truthfully, I would really, really appreciate if Z could submit a voicemail through SpeakPipe so that we can kind of get to the bottom of the things that Z is trying to get to. Yeah, we need a second choice CDM that can carry the ball. Yeah, Lucky Singh. Hi there. What's up, Lucky? How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining the chat, Lucky. Love to see you whenever you pop on. Yeah, I think, Mo intentionally kicked it away. How could this possible miss penalty 2 times simultaneously? This brother is tripping. Yeah, I don't know what Z. Run that back when you talked about Mo Salah match fixing and intentionally kicking the ball away. You referenced that you think the reason he did this was because of an argument that he had with Jurgen Klopp about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. What does that have to do with him kicking the ball away today? I need to know. I need to know what on earth what those two things have to do with each other. 2 times simultaneously. Did he shoot 2 pens at the same time? Kono, you got no business being that funny, bro. You got absolutely no business being that funny. My cat just rolled up. I didn't even catch that he said 2 times simultaneously. That didn't even come in my mind yet when he said that. I just thought he meant like back to back, because I would assume that maybe he missed another penalty or something recently. I don't know. I don't watch preseason games. Z, mate, I'm gonna lose my head as well. Z, if you could please do us a huge favor, Z, click the speak pipe in the description and please call into the show live. I need to hear what you have to say. I need to know what exactly Z has to say on the speak pipe today. So please, brother, I need your voice to be heard on this, because I need to understand why you think Mo Salah. Leonard goes, what on earth is Z about? I don't know. I love it though. He's saying that Ibrahima Konate is 70 years old. Mo Salah is match fixing. So tell me, how are we going to defend with this lazy ass grandpa duo? Z! He's 26 years old! He's 26. You can call Virgil van Dijk old, Z, but I don't understand how you can articulate that Ibrahima Konate is old. I don't get it. I need to know. Grub said, Z-Bud, I think it's time to go to bed, mate. No, we need Z in the chat. We need Z. Z is integral to the chat. We need to. He's integral to the speak pipe. I need to hear his voice and play it live on stream. He's maybe one of my favorite members of the chat that I've ever had on stream, because he's electric city. He's just calling Ibrahima Konate a grandfather. He's claiming that Mo Salah is purposefully throwing games due to an interaction that he had with Jurgen Klopp in like 2023. I need to know. Dean said, am I right saying that Konate could be our main defender after today's performance from Virgil? He was soft. I mean, I'm not gonna put the blame on Van Dijk when he has one bad performance, honestly. I don't think that's too fair to do to Van Dijk if it's like he's had one bad game, so we're just going to like hang him out to dry. It's like, it's the same thing with McAllister. I don't think McAllister was good today either, but I certainly don't think it's fair to be like, oh, we can't have McAllister playing in the center of the park for us anymore, because what's that really going to get us? I think we need to back Virgil. He deserves the backing from us. Konate was solid today. Yeah, Konate's always solid. The problem that we have with Konate, guys, is there's a good chance that he pulls a Trent and leaves on a free next season. That's the biggest issue that we have with Kanate is there's a real reality that he's going to potentially pull a Trent, leave on a free, and go to Madrid. Unless we pay him boatloads of money, which I actually think we should. If that's an option, I think we definitely should pay him a ton of money because he's brilliant. But if we're not going to do that, we need to also look at several replacements at center back because I don't think we can hang Virgil out to dry though yet, guys. He's a very well established player at the club. Been very good for us for years at this point. I don't think it's fair. But guys, also too, I've said it 12,000 times. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and call in on the speak pipe so I can play you guys live on stream. Sorry, my sunglasses. It's getting a little bright in here, baby. So I had to throw my sunglasses on to block out the haters. But I will never block out Z. I need to hear from Z. I need his voice to be heard. I need Z to articulate why Ibrahima Konate is old. I need to hear why Mohamed Salah is match fixing. I need all of that. Leonard said that grandpa helped us win the Premier League last season. Both of those grandfathers that Z has portrayed Van Dijk and Konate to be helped us win a Premier League last season. So I think the club is worried to give him big bucks with his injury record. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that, Grub. I think there is a concern on his ability to not get injured long term. So I do think that is a concern of the club's. But if it gets to a point, it's if we're not are we really going to let him leave on a free? Why are we letting players leave on frees? That could go for yeah, that's cold as hell. We haven't had a player as swaggy as Jeremy Frimpong probably since Sadio Mane. So yeah, or Firmino, swaggy. Yeah, Jeremy Frimpong, I love the energy that he brings. And then I don't know if you saw Kono while he was doing this behind him, Konate was doing the same celebration. It was just cold. I thought Frimpong played really well today, by the way. I actually really enjoyed his performance. I thought he was really, really energetic, confident. Callum said, "You're not seriously angry about today's loss, right? It's just a cool-looking friendly." It's a little bit. Listen, I don't actually. What I said, I actually could care less about the result in it of itself, Callum. I am upset with the performance. The performance wasn't good enough, and it's a little bit more than a friendly. It's a game that you expect us to go out and actually put in a good performance against a mid-table but solid team in Crystal Palace. I expected this to be a game that we were really going to show how good we were, and we didn't. We showed a lot of I can't say this word. Inadequacies that we have in our team, and a couple players who really need to get checked. So I'm not really I could care less about winning the Carabao Cup. It's more the performance in and of itself that's concerning, and it was pretty embarrassing. Yeah, I see. You said I see where you're coming from. Yeah, it's not winning the trophy. I could care less about the Community Shield. I think I called it the Carabao Cup. I've been doing that far too often. I could care less about the Community Shield. It's I looked at the Community Shield as an opportunity for us to showcase the talent that we have, and we didn't do that. We looked poor. Grubb said, wacky goal he scored as well, LOL. Dean Jensen said, cannot say record quite good under Slot. Completely agree with you. Agree with both Grubb and Dean that it was a wacky goal, and Konate is a good goal record. Leonard said, yes, Frimpong played well today and scored a banger too. Not really a banger, but it was a good goal. Put it this way, I think he kind of scuffed a cross, but I think he meant to put the cross right at the back post, and it ended up going in the back of the goal because Dean Henderson is shit. I already touched on that. Callum said, I see where you're coming from. Here we go, baby. We got a Z chat. He said, please somebody tell to goalkeeper not passing long ball to Frimpong. He is 5'2" at most. Allison? Are you saying like Allison played a long ball to Frimpong? I don't know. I don't know what Z, please get on the speak pipe. Z, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe to the channel, and anyone else in the chat as well too, please. Yes, I'm gonna keep saying that, guys, because I'm trying to run my shit up to 1,000 subscribers. So, please, anyone who likes this, it would mean the world to me if you would like the video and subscribe. Thank you. Callum Wilson. I keep calling him Callum Wilson. That's outrageous. Callum Warren said, I was definitely expecting more, but I'm not annoyed about the loss. Yeah, I just want us to play well. I said, so I think the best way I could articulate it to you, Callum, as I was saying earlier in the stream, that the game against Bournemouth for me is a more important game than the game today. I don't actually think the game today was that important of a game, and because I could care less about winning the Community Shield. I'm interested to see how we play against Bournemouth, and that for me is a more important game. Kono said, no, all I care about is that Frimpong Selly. Would love to see him score for just the Selly. Yeah, I agree. I love it. Yeah, it was brilliant. I love a good cold celebration, and Frimpong showcased that today. Leonard said, yeah, I agree with you, then sent the laughing emojis. Appreciate you, Leonard. Callum Warren, God fucking keep saying that. Callum Warren said, I thought Ekatike played really well for a second game. He played really, really well. The problem is that if he can't play a full 90, we don't have anyone to come on as a striker option after him. We have one number 9, and he played really well today, like you said. I think he put himself about really well, finished a really good opportunity. But if we're going to sub him off, who are we going to replace him with? Because we don't have another striker, and we don't know if we're going to get Alexander Isak. And if we do get Alexander Isak, are we going to play Ekatike off the left? Because we need to see more of Ekatike. So I don't even know how we're going to go about that whole situation. He said, being called Callum Wilson should be considered an insult. Yeah, I'm accidentally going to, I'm going to, in my mind, try to call you Callum Warren, but I'm not going to say that I won't accidentally call you Callum Wilson again. Because it's stuck in my head now. It's like I keep calling the Community Shield the Carabao Cup. I don't know why I've done it several times, but I have. Not saying it's a good thing. It probably shows more about my brain's ability to function than anything. But Callum Warren said, I'm looking forward to the Bournemouth game. Yeah, we need to play well in the Bournemouth game. We need to get 3 points there because we looked pretty horrendous. I think it was awful. I think it was pretty terrible. I still think we will get Isak. Not sure when, but definitely do it. Yeah, I don't even know if it'll be this transfer window. Maybe it'll be a future one potentially. I do really hope that we get Alexander Isak, though. I think there's a really high potential that we could. It's just a matter of when. Callum said, it's fine, mate. Don't worry. Yeah, it's probably with me misidentifying him multiple times on this stream, and I apologize again about that. I'll try to do better. Kona Yoon said, Ekatike looked so good. He has the fundamentals of football, unlike Nunez, who could barely dribble or pass. Well, maybe that's a little mean to say about Darwin. I already miss Darwin, I'll be honest with you. He gave me something to complain about, and I'm starting to lose that. Well, not actually, to be honest with you. Liverpool's performance today gave me a whole stream to complain about, so maybe there's that. I don't know. I'm losing my head here, guys, if you couldn't tell. I'd say a complete and utter head loss for me at this point. I'm just... Liverpool broke me today. Liverpool broke me. I expected us... I don't even know if we're going to win the league now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think. You guys will have to let me know what to think in the chat, because I'm hurt. I'm hurting, boys. The game today broke me to some certain capacity. I don't know how to feel. Don't know how to feel. I gained 7 subscribers from this stream, though, so I appreciate you guys. Callum Warren said, I think Nunez was a great player. All he was missing was the shooting. Yeah, I think he put himself... He did the hard things bad. Well, no. He did the hard things right, in a sense, that he put himself about very, very well. But he when he was given opportunities on a golden platter, he would hit the post or put it over the bar, put it wide. Kono said, I mean, Nunez looks sloppy on the ball. Sloppy on the ball. He did get into scoring chances, but still looks clunky, slow, and sloppy on the ball. Yeah, I mean, he's gone now. We can't all just sit around and think about what could have been with Darwin Nunez, because that would make me sad. I thought he could have turned it around. I kind of wanted him to, So Callum Warren said his pace was rapid and he looks good on the ball and played some class balls to other players. I personally say otherwise. Yeah, I think I think the problem with Darwin just came down to the fact that he couldn't score. There were definitely aspects of his game that showed like a really, really good player. And I think for a while there, we definitely all were kind of like, oh, cool. Like, we'll just get Darwin to learn how to finish because everything else he does is pretty decent. But it just hasn't worked out. Leonard K said, done subscribed and liked the video. Thanks, Leonard. I appreciate that, brother. Thanks very much. I will watch your live again in the next game, bro. Since it was quite late here in Malaysia. See you again on the next game, and good night, Limo. You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone, Leonard. Shout out to Leonard in the chat. I appreciate you joining the stream today, brother. I'll see you on the next one, man. I never saw Nunez do a 1-2 like Ekitike did with Verts and Gakpo, LOL. No, but we did see Nunez win a game for us at St. James's Park. We saw him win a game against Brentford last season. There were some big times that... there were some big moments from from Nunez. Come on, he wasn't all bad. He wasn't that's the thing is, the shooting was the issue, but it wasn't all bad. Yes, we got a Z chat. We don't need strikers anymore. We need solid defenders to replace Grandpa VVD. Wow. I'm not even gonna read that second part of that chat. Can someone? Z, you went from calling Kanate Z. I don't know. Z, I'm not 100% familiar. Z. Z, just to clarify, Z, the adjectives that you used to describe Kanate, you know what they mean, right? You know what they mean, right? Yeah, like, I just want to clarify. You know what they mean. Yeah, Kono said that's not possible. Yeah, in terms of just the fact that you use two crazy adjectives, I'm not certain, but I'm fairly confident that those two things can't be in conjunction. You can't have two of them. They're two separate entities in and of itself. Z, please get on the speak pipe and call into the show. I need to hear from you. I need to hear your voice. It's in the description. Even if you just say hi to me, I need to hear your voice. Okay, going back. Callum said the issue with Nunez is he had 3 seasons to fix his issue, but never did. Yeah, no, that is definitely a huge problem with Nunez for sure. Kono said 3 winners across 3 years aren't stuff to be mentioned. Callum said, but he showed up when most needed. Then, yeah, Kono and Grubb also just joined in and basically saying, what does Z mean? Z, elaborate. The problem, guys, Callum, Kono, and Grubb, can we all agree? The problem with Z is, Z in the chat will drop a bomb and then disappear for 5 minutes, and then we start talking about different football topics, and then he comes back with maybe one of the most just egregious things that's ever been dropped on my chat. Oh, we got a new chat. Nayashiro boy said, "It's a curse, bro. If you win the Community Shield, you end up trophyless in that season. For example, when Liverpool won City 3-1 in the Shield, then they end up trophyless, just like Man City versus Man United." I hear you. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, bro. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. For sure. Well, I do know it was a curse. I don't. You know what it is, man. Nayashiro boy, it wasn't as much the fact that we didn't win. It was just the performance. The performance from Liverpool was off today, and that was the big concern for me. Yeah. But Callum said Z needs to calm his ass down. No, we need, and this goes for anyone. It's not just for Z. If you want to call into the show, the speak pipe is in the description. Feel free to do so. You don't have to. You can just be, you might, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just use the chat if you prefer that. But it's available if any of you guys want your voice heard on the stream. It is an option. Kono said Z might have just brightened our day. Z for sure has brightened my day. But again, Kono, this is the problem, is that he drops a bomb and then he disappears from the chat for several. I don't know if he's like joining and then leaving like the stream, and then he'll just come back and then just be like, whatever they're talking about, we're just going to drop at that point. But yeah, referring to Kanate as that is wild. Is maybe one of the most outrageous things I've ever heard. Yeah, it's the best that it doesn't make sense either. It would have been like less funny if it was just like as egregious as that, but it made logical sense, but it just doesn't make any sense. Callum said, "I personally think we can't be playing Frimpong and Kirkez can't play at the same time unless one of them learns to stay back and be more defensive." I actually agree with that, Callum. I definitely actually agree with that. I think we struggled on Kirkez's side today with defensively because we had to see Gakpo track back a lot today. But it wasn't as much of an issue on Frimpong's side, but that that could be that could be an issue going forward. Nayashiro boy wrote in all capitals again. Not gonna lie, I feel bad that Liverpool lost, bro. I expected them to win by a big goal margin. Yeah, I put on the internet that I thought Liverpool were going to win 4-1. So, that aged like milk. So yeah, no, it sucks. It's not fun. Sometimes being in the trenches as I am. But it happens. It just is what it is. Sometimes you put yourself out there, you give yourself a little prediction, and then your team has to make you look like an idiot online. It just is what it is. Kono said to Callum, "I honestly disagree. I think Slot is going for a fluid formation with Kirkez and Frimpong bombing up and down the flanks." Grubb said, "Nah, Kirkez was actually quite reserved today, I thought." Kono said, "I think it's more of a pivot problem on defensive actions. Gravenberch just take more defensively on the sides." Callum said, "I just want to point out that I'm not saying either are bad players. They are both amazing, but don't work together." Which Kono responded and said, "I think they can play together when Gravenberch is playing." Callum said, "We will see how the squad works when we have a full 11. Yeah, guys, it really comes down to, I think, the fact that I agree with both. I agree with both kind of comments there. I think that Gravenberch not playing probably does impact You know, how we would potentially play. It looks like we just gained another subscriber too. So whoever subscribed, I really really appreciate you. Yeah, I think it for sure. It for sure comes down to the fact that I think we're gonna have to wait. Nair Shirabor, you were the guy that subscribed. Thank you and greetings. You're from Africa. Awesome. That's sick. I'm from America. What was I? Where's my? Callum said, but we will be missing Gravenberch for the first 3 games of the Prem. Yeah, you know, it just. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I wouldn't be opposed if we want to play Endo as a holding midfielder. He has a more of a similar. He's not a similar playing profile as Gravenberch because Gravenberch is like a little bit more of a ball playing holding midfielder. You know, Endo's a little bit more get in there and get a little dirty. But yeah, you know, I do think in the grand scheme of everything, the fact of the matter is we need our full starting 11 for sure. That's when we'll get the full gravity of the situation. Grub said I don't know if Slot likes Endo that much. Yeah, maybe he doesn't. But we're missing Gravenberch for the first. On the build-up, Gravenberch does play like a third center back. I just like when we saw last year, and it becomes 3-4-3 on the attacking actions. It could be 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Callum said, I think Gravenberch is by far the best CDM in the Prem. Eniola said, I'm back. Back in the New York groove. Gravenberch's the best holding midfielder in the Prem. Yeah, I mean, Rodri's been injured for like a year now. Like, so for sure, it's almost like as bad as it is. The guy won the Ballon d'Or. He's a brilliant player, but you know, it's like tough to even like quantify how good Rodri is anymore because he just is hurt all the time. Eniola said bye. Did you come back just to leave, Eniola? I'm confused. That doesn't really make a whole bunch of... Yes! The GOAT has spoken. Alright. Z said, still have no idea why Mo Salah selected to pick first penalty shoot and kicked it away intentionally. He's still on the fact that he thinks Mo Salah kicked away the first penalty intentionally. Maybe he wanted the whole team to break it down from the start of 5. I thought he was flowing off. Do you honestly, in your heart of hearts, think that he missed that penalty on purpose? I need to know. What, like, Z, you've said multiple times that, he said it's some top tier rage bait. I'm not even mad. I just need to know what he means. I'm not raging. I just need to know. I need to know what he's talking about because I have no idea what he's talking about. I think Caicedo is better in my opinion, but I love Gravy. Nayashiro boy said, what's your top 5 prediction for the Prem next season? I think Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. 5th is tough because I think it's going to come down to like Newcastle, Spurs, Villa. You know, even if United have like a real big comeback, you know, I could see that. But I'll say that's my top 4. Kono said Gravenberch and Caicedo are the best CDMs in the Prem. Roger coming back from an ACL would be tough. Yeah, at his peak, Rodri's definitely one of the best holding midfielders, but it's tough with the injury that he sustained. Callum said Z has some top tier rage bait. Oh yeah, we already covered that. Grub said Z isn't all there. Kono says Z mate, if you speak English, it would be appreciated. Callum said he's either a 67-year-old lunatic or a 10-year-old who thinks he's hilarious. Kono said doubt a 67-year-old knows what pog means. Hey man, I think you're doubting a couple 67-year-olds. Um, listen. I don't know. Don't ask me, guys. I'm not. You know, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond anymore. Z has broken me. Z has absolutely broken me. All right, let's get. I might jump off soon, but let's get a couple more chats in. Let's get a couple more topics flowing. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, and then I'll hop off for the day. I've been streaming for like. I need a Z speak pipe voicemail. I do too. He won't do it though. He won't do it. Z, please, please submit a speak pipe. Just click the link in my description and send in a voicemail for the chat. I need it. I need it. I need to hear your voice. It'll make my day. It'll make my day. Z, you have to. And guys, I've been refreshing. Callum said, "I think we win the Champions League." I could see that. Yeah, I think. I think there's a chance we go far at the very least in the Champions League, guys. I do just want to let you know I keep refreshing the speak pipe too, to like double check to see if Z has uploaded a voicemail. I think you should do a podcast. Just a regular podcast. This is kind of what that is. I mean, I go live a couple times a week. Just kind of go over the Premier League and stuff like that. Go over the Prem, go over some transfers and stuff like that. That's I guess a good, like, what other sort of content do you guys want to see? Coming out of me, I'm at currently, just under 770 subscribers. So I need to get my watch time hours up, and I need to get, about 230 more subs before I can make any sort of money from this shit. So I'd love to know what sort of different sorts of content you guys would want to see out of me. No way Chelsea could do that. Chelsea are a capable cup team. They can do it 100%. Not Chelsea are always good in cups. They could do it. I think we're also forgetting about Rio on the left. Could do some serious damage up against weaker teams. Yeah, I hope to see Rio play a lot more this upcoming season. I hope he gets some more playing time for sure. I think that would be a huge benefit of him. Yeah. Do you just stream or make videos too? I do make videos as well. I stream, make videos. I stream more frequently. So I'm trying to do a little bit more. Grub said this is my first time. Yeah, so I've made videos for a while, and for a while I would like so I've made videos in the past where I like talk about like particular like footballing topics. So like a lot of my videos that have done well are not really like covering what's going on right now, but maybe talk about like an interesting football topic. So Kono said make sure to clip farm, like saying outrageous things so it goes viral. Yeah, but like the problem is with clip farming, like I kind of try to do that, but like I don't have enough subscribers or a big enough following that people clip my shit. Like that's like my like, I have 9 viewers currently. You know what I mean? I'm very realistic here, fellas. I know we're kind of at the bottom floor of this whole thing. Because sometimes I do have like some takes that's like if someone clipped that probably would do quite well, but it's just not as, I don't have clippers, I don't have people that are like, I'm gonna clip this guy because the clip will do well, because the clip probably will just do average if we're being honest, like maybe probably below average. But yeah, so going back to what Grub said, I do make videos. In the past, I've made like videos on like particular topics, and then I kind of started going into talking about like recent occurrences in football and stuff like that, like more breaking news type stuff, like things that are occurring now, like at that very moment. And I've kind of tried to move away from that because I'm using the stream as an opportunity uh, to I use the stream to like cover like stuff that's you know, like breaking at that point. Grub said, "Do you post on TikTok? I feel like that's probably the best way to grow these days." I do post on TikTok. I actually like I do quite well on TikTok. So my TikTok page, I'm gonna go there right now. If you look to my TikTok filters through the top of the stream, and then it's also down below in the description. So on TikTok, I have 5,423 followers, but you can't make money on TikTok until you get 10,000 subscribers. So like there's that aspect of it as well. Thoughts on the quadruple? I don't think I think the quadruple is something that is so like we're the only team that wins a quadruple. I think is going to be a team that's just so unbelievably dominant, and I think that's is going to be so hard to win the quadruple. I mean, winning a treble, we've only seen a couple teams win a treble. Realistically, winning a quadruple is something that's like so difficult. I think it's Nayashiro boy says, maybe watch your previous videos and see what to improve in your videos, and maybe try to do crazy stuff. At least you have a little viewers, but I'm sure you'll grow with time. No, I definitely do agree with that. So, I started streaming in like the past month. So it's only been a month that I've started streaming because I like bought a PC and stuff like that. And in that month, I've gained 50 subscribers. Actually, probably more after today because I've gained 9 subscribers today. So, I definitely think streaming is like the big one. Here we go. Sorry, I hate to move on, but have you seen Grandpa Virgil's interview? Z chat, everyone. Z is in the chat. Have you seen Grandpa Virgil's interview? Go check it out. He seems like he came back from the coma, not from illness, and talking shit even we lose, and went home without having anything. He is done. I've never seen a Liverpool fan hate Virgil van Dijk as much as Z does. Callum said, "What's your full-time job?" So I don't want to put that out there too much, just because I don't think any of you guys are like crazy or anything like that. But I don't want like someone insane to like track me down or something like that. I work an office job though, put it that way. Yeah. Z. The goat. The goat. Z goat. Love that guy. That's fair enough. Yeah, I just don't want to like, there's crazy people on the internet. You never know. You never know. You never know. Damn, bro. I am probably, guys, in the next, so it's almost 2 hours. I'm probably going to hop off in like the next 7 minutes or so, just because, unless I get like an influx of people, because I appreciate you guys. But I streamed for 2.5 hours earlier today, and I am going on 2 hours now, so I've been streaming for 4.5 hours today. That's insane. What games do you play? I don't play any video games. The problem is, man, I'm like damn near 29 years old at this point, so I don't really play any video games. I've thought about potentially getting like the new FIFA. I'm playing that on stream and stuff, I think that could be entertaining for some people, but you know. Grub said TikTok and Shorts are a pretty surefire way of at least gaining some traction on here, I reckon. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's just putting out as like, so it realistically is just like, I do damn near all forms of content. So I do the streaming, I do videos, I do TikToks, I do shorts. Well, TikToks and shorts are damn near the same thing. I don't post as much on shorts because it actually, I've noticed, affects how my streams and regular videos do a lot. So I don't post on there as much. Just shorts. But yeah, so yeah. FIFA F1 bit of Fortnite. It's having a comeback and I don't know what any of that is. So let me know if you guys have any last questions. Got no speak pipes on this episode. That's awesome. That's awesome. Not awesome. I don't know why. That just goes to show how fried my damn brain is. It's not awesome. We want speak pipes. Speak pipes are good. I want to hear from you guys. Well, I'll be coming back if I see you streaming again anyway. I'll check out some vids too when I've got some time. See you, brother. See you, Grub. Have a great night, brother. Speaking of grub, I gotta go get myself some. Figure out what I'm gonna eat. I live in Australia, so it's mad early in the morning. Yeah, damn, that's crazy, grub. Thank you for joining, though, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing, too. What time is it for me in the States? It is 3:12 in the afternoon. Appreciate it, Grub. Thank you, man. I was trying to hit... So I started this stream with like 760 subs. I was trying to hit 770 before the end of the day, but... probably not going to happen. Alright, guys. Thank you all very, very much for joining the stream. 8:13 p.m. for me. So you must be, Callum, are you in Ireland, England, Scotland, or Wales? Or Ireland or the UK. I don't know why I had to name out every single country in the UK. Z to Manchester United. Alright, guys. All of you, be safe. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate all of you very, very much. See all you boys on the next one. Peace out.